Let's talk about something that I've been seeing floating around here on TikTok, and that is this idea that now that RFK Jr. has suspended his campaign and endorsed Donald Trump, that Donald Trump is going to drop JD Vance in favor of RFK Jr. Now, is it possible? Yes, maybe. Um, they're up against filing deadlines in some states where I believe you could end up with issues where some ballots in some states would have Vance listed as Trump's running mate. Some ballots could have Kennedy listed in other states, and that could be very confusing, especially should Donald Trump win. I don't think that's possible, but on the off chance it would happen, I think that could lead to some confusion in the certification of the election. Beyond that, I know he would need the party approval, which would be easy enough to get with Laura Trump, his daughter in law, being one of the co chairs of the RNC, the other co chair being a Trump appointee. Um, so there's that. But even if it were possible, Donald Trump would have to come out and, fire JD Vance and admit he picked the wrong person. His personality won't let him do that. So they would have to pressure Vance from behind the scenes to get him to drop out. I don't think Vance is going to drop out, you know, because he's banking his career on this move. I think that JD Vance is hoping to make vice president. Something happens to Donald Trump, he becomes president and goes from there. If this fails, I think when he is up for re-election, I think JD Vance does not win re-election for his next term in the Senate. So I think JD Vance is banking his entire political future on this vice presidential candidacy, and he's not going to step aside on his own merit. And what does RFK Jr. bring to the Trump ticket anyway? Well, as I've talked about in numerous videos, he doesn't add anything to the Trump campaign. RFK Jr. was always meant to be a spoiler candidate when it was Trump versus Biden. For those people who didn't like Donald Trump but couldn't bring themselves to vote for Joe Biden again, he was going to be a safe third alternative to where he could keep people from voting down for voting for Joe Biden and then help or slim down that margin that Joe Biden would have over Donald Trump to give Trump an easier path to victory. But without Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris is getting that momentum, and we're looking at not voting for either Trump or RFK Jr. and instead looking at Vice President Kamala Harris as the better option. So RFK Jr. doesn't add anything to his campaign. Plus, you have Donald Trump in his personality. RFK is, a Kennedy. He's got a big personality in some cases. Donald Trump wouldn't put up with RFK Jr. stealing the spotlight for too long. That's why he likes JD Vance, because JD Vance, when he does steal the spotlight, it's all negative press, and Donald Trump is okay if somebody else steals the negative press, but never positive. So ultimately, I don't think that we are going to see RFK Jr. replacing JD Vance on the Republican ticket. I could be wrong, but it would really surprise me if it happens.